I came across this GMAT and I had no idea what ISB is, what a GMAT exam looks like. So for me, it's like Crackverbal. It's sort of my first online learning experience and coaching. I've been immediately enrolled for Crackverbal online plus offline version of course.
What was your background and why did you consider an MBA in the first stage?
I'm a normal general female engineering candidate. And since I started, actually, I've been living in hostel for my education, and I did my BTech from Mumbai, Vijaytia, and post that I started working as a software engineer. So I worked in Mumbai for like good 2 years, and post that I switched. And prior joining to ISB, I was working in Morgan Stanley Capital International as a senior software engineer. And actually, I have a twin sister, and she was in operations before, so she proposed this idea. Let's go for MBA. So 2-3 years back, we both started preparing together during actually pandemic, and I was preparing for CAT like for good 1 year, but somehow it's like something went bad, and I wasn't able to crack the majors IIM ABC. In contrary, my twin sister, she got into IIM Calcutta for MBA. So that was my motivation to come into ISB actually because I wanted to pass out at the same time. So she's 2022 batch out, and fortunately, it's like we both will be passing out at the same time. So for me, while working as a software engineer, I realized apart from my core software work, I was involved a lot in product management stuff as well, and that's how I developed my interest in product management. And then again, I thought let's give it a shot because in the long term, I knew that I don't want to limit myself to just tech side of the application. I wanted to explore more, so that's why I considered doing MBA.
I remember, reading your profile, and it was that apart from everything that you did, you also tried to do something on the business world separately by yourself. So, what was that experience, and how did that also inspire you maybe towards an MBA?
Me and my sister decided that let's go for MBA. So we had a typical technical background. So I thought having some business knowledge and some in-hand experience would be great. And at that time, I think since the COVID was going on and we had a lot of free time in our hand, so we decided let's start something. So we started with very niche area that we had some experience on because, as I said, I've been staying in hostels since 10th standard, so I knew how this hostel model works, how typical PG works. So our startup is based on this solution itself. It's like one-stop stay solution. So we provided sort of OYO service, you can say. So that sort of startup we have started. But along with that, we were working on full-time job, and at the same time, I was preparing for GMAT. That's why actually I wasn't able to focus much on my GMAT. I hardly prepared for, I guess, 3 months, and then I just gave the exam. But again, I guess overall, in the way they say in GMAT, in research institute, overall your application matters. So although I had just 700 of GMAT score, but still I guess this startup experience, my journey, my achievement helped me to get into ISB.
You said, I think the association with us began when you had for the GMAT, and then it continued on to your applications also. So how was that whole experience?
Just a bit about my background. So I'm native of UP. If you see my family background, I mean, we don't have great educational background. In fact, me and my sister are the very first engineers in our community, and in our family, at least no one knows what ISB is, what IIM is, what is MBA is all about. So for me, even I had no idea. To be very honest, just a couple of years back, I had no idea what ISB is. I knew about IIMs, but I never knew that 1 year MBA existed, a full-time MBA. So once my sister got into CAT, and then I thought let's explore some other exams. And then I came across this GMAT, and I had no idea what ISB is, what a GMAT exam looks like, what is the application process. So I thought I don't have much time, and I started looking for some online resources where I can get some help from. And to be very honest, this was my first class. From childhood, I have never joined any coaching institute or nothing. So for me, it's like Crackverbal. It's sort of my first online learning experience and coaching experience. I've just search online which one is best coaching institute for GMAT, because I had no idea about GMAT. For CAT, at least I had some idea from my friends and stuff, but GMAT I had no idea. So I searched, and first thing popped up on the website was Crackverbal, and I then scheduled a small review meeting, and they just reviewed my profile, and I've then immediately enrolled for Crackverbal online plus offline version of course. And but again, even after enrolling, I was sitting idle for 2 months. I guess I've enrolled in Crackverbal for in March end or something, but I've started my preparation in July, August. So, but once I've started, it's like Crackverbal helped a lot because I had no idea what the exam pattern was. Actually, before joining Crackverbal, I guess Crackverbal has this sample videos in their website, free sample videos. So I've just gone through that free videos, and then I realized that videos are really good. This is what I needed. And post that I've enrolled actually. And then overall journey was great, and even have used the same. I've used the application service from Crackverbal for my overall application for Indian B schools, and it was great. I've applied for 3 B schools and I got into 2, so I guess that's good.
With schools like ISB, there is a lot of the essay writing process itself, which is more about thinking about why you're applying for an MBA, why are you doing these things, introspection. So which needs a lot of thinking also from your end, motivation, right? So how was that whole process for you, and then how helpful was it to have somebody to guide you in the process also?
I had no idea what the ACEs were about, what was the application process. So obviously having a mentor is really helpful, because I was in the phase where I didn't had much time to do it by myself, and plus I mean at the time the expertise were not there. Because I had very little time left with me, along with full-time job and my startup and with GMAT preparation. I was really very worried about my application process, that how I'll handle it. And I remember I talked to many, it's like many online, on the GMAT club, I've talked to many folks, and they said it's really good to have some help in your application process, especially if you are newbie, you do not know anything. So it's like, and that's why I have enrolled for additional this application, the whole application review process with the Crackverbal. And the best part was the kind of mentor that you guys assigned to us. It's like it was a perfect mapping. So my mentor, she was from ISB, so she knew in and out everything. What kind of application works, what kind of application doesn't work, what things we should put, what things we should highlight. It's like I narrated my whole story to us, but being a student, it's like I was doing the narration in like 3-4 pages, and she jotted down everything and she narrowed it down to 500 words. So I think that would have been really difficult for me to do it by myself. So in that process, this overall application review process really helped to just narrow down my ideas, what to write, what not to write, and plus the rigorous review process. Even after I was done with the application, the Crackverbal team reviewed it like for a couple of times. So that was really nice. The overall help was really good.
Right. So how did you prepare for these interviews, and also how was the actual interview?
By the time I applied for ISB, I already got the admit for IIM. So I was like sort of little happy that in worst case scenario, if ISB won't happen for me, at least I'll have some backup. I'll have IIM with me. So that burden was already gone. So I was a bit chillax. I was a bit chill during the ISB interview. And during the first interview, I guess you helped me for my interview preparation. So that was more than enough. And again, I received the interview selection just, I guess, 10 days prior to my interview, the selection mail. So I just had 10 days to prepare, because I wasn't sure that whether or not I'll get the interview call. So I wasn't preparing until I haven't started preparing unless it's like I received the call or email from ISB. So I just had 10 days. I've started. I've listed down all the questions the questions they asked. I did some research about ISB, their clubs, and what all things excites me in ISB. So I did a bit of research on ISB, especially everything else was sorted since I already prepared for IMK. So I just prepared ISB specific questions. It's like everything that I would like to do in ISB, all this experiential learning program and all those stuff. So I guess I just prepared for ISB related stuff, and everything else was smooth. Since as I said, I was chill because I already had an admit for IMK at that time. So it wasn't, it's like just because that pressure was gone, so interview went really smooth. I was a bit nervous when I it's like reached the menu because what happened during the IIM interviews are a bit chill. So my IIM OE course interview just went for like half an hour. But in case of ISB, it went like good 50 to 55 minutes. So I wasn't sure it's like whether it was good or bad. So I just lost all the hopes that's fine. Even if I'll get it, that's fine. And even if I won't, I don't mind. I always sort of have some backup option. And then what the best thing that happened with me during the interview result, it's like this time the interview result got delayed. It came around 11:30 in the night, and they were rolling it's like phases. During the start, just a couple of students received the interview result, and it was 12:30. I still received my admit. I thought it's like I'm not selected because at that time almost everyone has received their admit email. I have received my admit email at like around 12:30, and I was like I didn't get it, but when I received that mail around 12:30, I was so happy. I literally started crying because I thought I was rejected, and I already called my family that that's fine, ISB is not for me. Now I'll go to Kerala, I mean within couple of months, but then again I got the interview invite and everything went smooth actually.
Wow.
It was awesome experience for me.
You did mention something about research, right? Trying to find out about what ISB is and about it. So can you tell us how you did that research?
Yeah, I guess that's the most important part when it's come to be it an application or be it an interview process. Because you should know why you are applying for ISB. You have option. I mean, you have option of going into IIM versus ISB. So you should know that why ISB is different from IIM. And plus, to be very honest, a 2-year program or 1-year program in IIMs versus ISB, it's very, very different. And apart from that, actually almost everything is available on their website, ISB's website, but that's not enough. I've connected with many alums during this time as the alums to get some insight, because on the website it's like there's everything. It's an open forum, you know everything, but interviewer wants to know what else have you done some extensive research, have you talked to all of alums, some alums that shows your keen interest that you would really want to join the ISB. So I did my research part through the website, some preliminary research, and post that I really connected with many alums from the ISB. Just I sent random LinkedIn request and they accepted it. I asked for their contact number and I scheduled some meetings. So that was, I guess, really helpful. Apart from your primary research, this secondary research in person, talking to the alums really helped. And that's how I was pretty sure that I want to go to ISB.
Any parting advice for people who are just starting out, considering ISB, thinking about it?
The first and foremost part is GMAT, GMAT preparation, because it's all about confidence. Once you have good GMAT score, at least average GMAT score, then you'll be confident enough that at least I can try to get into ISB, because your overall application, whatever you have done in your lifetime, your academics, you can't change it now. So the next part, the most important part, is your GMAT score, because within a year or so, you can't really change your application much. So the additional spike that you can add in your application again boils down to your GMAT score. So if someone is considering to coming into ISB, then the only thing remains in our hands is to have good work experience. In past, I'd say just good work experience, and again the GMAT score. Really prepare hard for GMAT, but again GMAT is not everything. Your overall application matters. As I said, even though I had just 700 score, I still got into ISB. In ISB, they have the GMAT score of, I guess, around 12, 15 this time. I'm not very sure. But again, so GMAT score doesn't matter much in that sense. But again, that's the only thing you have in your
Got it.
hand right now. So prepare good for your GMAT preparation, and then application naturally is the next step.
So thank you so much for your time again. It has been a pleasure, like I said, to work with you last year. And we're very happy that you got into the school you wanted. We're very happy that you and your sister are graduating at the same time that you wanted. So thank you again.